And welcome to View from Above. And we're here for another exciting episode, and we're still working on our series, Dreams That Change the World. And this one is part 4, Finances and Prosperity. Now,
good morning, everybody. I want to say good morning as well.
Good morning.
Good morning. And I want to wish you guys happy Easter, happy Passover, blessing, prosperity, health, amazing turnarounds in your life, and glorious moments. That's what we are coming together today to create in your life. And today we're going to be giving you so many pointers and wonderful examples and inspirations so you can really start on your victorious journey. So good morning, and let's begin.
All right. Yeah, so it's part 4, Finances and Prosperity. Now, through this series, we've been talking about different people that have had amazing dreams. We've talked about Nobel Prize winners. We've talked about geniuses. We've talked about authors and songwriters, people like Paul McCartney, Robert Louis Stevenson, Einstein, Frederick Banting, Neil Boros. I mean, we talked about all these amazing people that have had dreams and the incredible things that happen as a result. And we're talking about the dreams that they had at nighttime. So while they were sleeping, they received a dream, and that dream created an idea, opened a door to inspire them, and as a result of that, they went on to develop or invent or change or write or sing, all based on what they received out of the dreams. And we're telling you, in this series, the whole point is to inspire you, to let you know that you can have these kind of dreams too. This is not just for a select few, this is for everybody, and we want you to get excited about it and understand that the dreams that you're having at night are going to be doing the same thing that it was doing for all these people that we've shared. And I want to start out with
this is the whole point for you guys to get inspired, to kind of grasp this spark and start moving with it, because that will move you forward in your life. This is the time for you right now, right here, today, to start moving swiftly, all right? We're going to help you. Let's do it together, but open your heart and get inspired right now.
All right. Now, here's an inspiring story. This is about a guy named Larry Page.
All right.
And Larry had a dream.
I think I heard about him.
Did you know that? He had a dream. Now, Larry was 22, and he had this dream, and he woke up in the middle of the night. And basically, in his dream, what it was telling him is that he could have all the articles on the internet on his personal computer. That's essentially what the dream was telling him. He spent the next 2 hours writing down every single detail he could possibly remember. There was even computer code in the dream, and he wrote it all down. He was so excited, so fired up. He was only 22 years old at the time. And the next morning, he ran off to school.
It was a bit of a time before, right? Like,
yeah,
it's not yesterday, you guys. You know, people did not have sophisticated computers. Nobody had iPhones and smartphones. It was a different time. Computers were there, but it was just the beginning of a technological era, I would think.
That's exactly right. Thank you. And so Larry runs off to school, and he tells his professor he's got this incredible idea how he's going to be able to, put all these articles from the internet on your personal computer. Now, there was no way to have that kind of memory at the time, and it just wasn't feasible, or in the professor's mind.
In the computer that you had at home, there was no way you can get all this, like, to store that much information, they thought.
Yeah. So the professor basically thought it was so outlandish, he started laughing when Larry told him the idea. But the great thing is, Larry wasn't deterred by the professor, he was inspired by the dream. He spent the next year working on his idea, looking at all that information that came through in the dream, and in 1 year's time, he had that little bar that we now know today as the Google bar, because the company that Larry Page started because of this dream was a company called Google, which is now
you know what we're talking about.
The highest valued company in the world, as a result, as of last year, and continues to grow and continues to prosper. And it all started from a dream that Larry Page had at night. And if you didn't know, Larry Page is a multi-billionaire with a B. And that's what, we're talking about finances and prosperity. It can come through your dreams as well. Larry?
But here's the point, though.
Yeah.
See, he believed in his dream. That is the point. When he received this dream, and we're talking about the dream at night, not that he had a scheme or an idea to get rich, right?
Right.
He saw the dream at night, and in this dream, it was totally like he could. It was palpable. He received this information. He conceived this vision, and it was the dream when he had at night. He woke up. He remembered the dream. It stayed with him, and he kept going back into this dream, back into this dream, back into it. Never left him, right? So now he's going to his professor, who is an authority, right? He's studying under this professor. This is the authority in the field, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And who did he believe more?
His dream.
He believed his dream.
Yeah.
And that's what I want you to kind of absorb right
now. So he
now,
believed in his dream more than he believed in this so-called expert, which is important.
We're not telling you not to believe your professors or experts, but your dreams are the most powerful tool, the most incredible message, the most awesome opening to your prosperity, to your happiness, to your wealth, and to your future. That's why we're telling you the dreams are real. This is amazing example. Amazing example. It's not getting rich fast scheme, right? Because through dreams you have access to all the information you will ever need to change the world. I believe Larry Page changed the way that we actually perceive the internet and are able to get all kinds of information, access to anything through even your phone. Just think about it. It's incredible. If it wasn't for him believing in his dream, I don't think it would have happened. Yes, maybe later on down the road, somebody else would have had a dream and inspiration and so forth and so on. But what I'm saying here right now, dreams are real. Through dreams, you can tap into all the mysteries and download all the information, be ahead of the times. That's what Larry Page did. He believed in it, and he conceived it and achieved it.
It's amazing. I want to talk a little bit about, we had a question come in this week, and so I want to read a little bit.
In our
Facebook group.
Dream group.
I want to address that now because I have a feeling, we've been talking now for several weeks about these amazing people, Nobel Prize winners, best-selling authors, hit musicians, and so, and geniuses. So you might be sitting at home and having the same thought that this guy that posed this question had, and I really want to answer it because, I think dreams are so amazing. I don't want you to miss an opportunity. Larry did not miss an opportunity, and all these other people we've been talking about didn't miss an opportunity. I don't want you to miss an opportunity. But essentially, here's what they said. And this is the guy speaking. He says, I just feel sick with longing on multiple levels. He's talking about this guy he heard about. He's 29 years old, a millionaire, and living his passion every day. How'd he get there? At 21 years old, he received the same dream every night for a week that showed him the path to success. Each night, the dream got more and more vivid. So he's talking about somebody he heard about, and this was very upsetting and depressing. He goes on to say,
to this guy.
He says, now it wasn't depressing to the 29-year-old millionaire. But now he goes on to say, now I've prayed and asked for guidance on that level for years. Literally years. Every day I got zero, nada, nothing, zip.
He's a funny guy.
So to hear somebody's incredible revelation, it's disheartening for me, to say the least. And so he goes on to say, am I doing something wrong? Does God simply not care what I do? Does he not have me in mind for anything beyond what I'm at? Do I need to simply learn to be content in the moment, even if that means living without passion? So it's a great question.
I'm going to cry.
And
it's a sad outpouring of the Spirit.
But what here's what happens. He is depressed because he hears about this guy that's had this dream that showed him the path to success. And I love that story about this guy, this 29-year-old. When he's 21, he has a dream every night for a week, and it gets more and more vivid, and it shows him the path to success. Obviously, he followed that because now he's a millionaire and living his passion every day.
This is not Larry Page we're talking about. We don't even know the name of this person
guy, yes.
who is a millionaire at 29.
At 29.
But the point is, he did the same thing that Larry Page did. Without us telling him, he actually believed in his dream. That's why the dream was coming back. See, when you believe in it, when you receive it as truth, and focus on it, and hold this dream space, it will come back to you to clarify the message. That's what the message, this example is saying.
Yeah.
It was coming back and becoming clearer and clearer and clearer. Why? Because he was holding this space. He was holding the space. So what happened? This dream eventually materialized. It took him down the path of success. He became a millionaire at 29. Very successful guy, right?
Right.
So now what's happening with the friend who actually is writing this message?
The whole point of why we're sharing all these stories, and I'll tell you, there are just so many people that have had dreams at night that have been the inspiration, that have been the idea that led them into creating new businesses, new inventions, that have made them a lot of money, that have made them extremely happy and extremely prosperous. And the reason we tell you about that is because we want to inspire you.
Right.
And instead of being inspired by hearing this story, he gets depressed about it, this young man that shared this.
Yes.
And he's upset.
I understand his frustration, though.
And I think there's some of you feeling like that, too. You might be feeling, oh, that's great for a genius like Einstein or a billionaire like Larry Page. That's fine for him, but what about me? Does God not care about me? Does he not give me dreams like this? I mean, this guy's been saying he's been literally asking, and he's not received anything. And so, what about them?
See, I do believe everybody receives messages from their dreams.
I agree.
The key is to remembering the dreams. That is the key. You need to remember the dream, and you need to start to learn to decipher your dreams.
Right.
Not every dream is literal, and I believe this person who actually put this, writing in the book in our dream group, he's getting amazing dreams. We were lucky enough and so happy to interpret a few of his dreams. Amazing dreams. The point is, I don't think he's yet understanding how to get the information out of the dream.
So there are there are dreams that are literal, that when we have them, it shows us step by step exactly what to do.
Like Larry Page, I think he had the literal dream, right?
And I had dreams like that too, where I would wake up and I knew it was like when God was downloading information to me in my dreams about a process that I was now using on clients that I had chronic pain clients, and every night he'd give me a new step. So step by step, I was receiving the information.
And your emotional release technique,
right,
the same thing.
The trauma
you received
release,
it because you were focusing it, holding the dream space. You would wake up and knew what to do.
But they're not all so literal, the dreams that we receive. And I think as a result of that, because they often come as allegories or parables, people often think, oh, that was just a regular dream. It was nothing important. And as a result, they sometimes discard something that had great value in it. And that's one of the things we're saying is, you can't discredit this thing. We want to encourage you, and we keep telling you how incredible dreams are because we want to inspire you, because every dream contains amazing stuff. I remember someone telling me a dream about an office, and it was a very boring, uneventful dream, it seemed like. But that was the thing, is when we started to work with this dream, it unlocked incredible insights and healing. And I mean, that was a very powerful dream. And that's the thing, is we can look at a dream and say, oh, that's nothing there. It's very boring. Nothing incredible is happening there. No information. But we got to understand that because it's a parable or an allegory, we need to be able to receive the guidance, receive the revelation, delve into it a little bit deeper. Don't do that with your own understanding. Also, if you're only using your own understanding to try to look at the dream and see what it's saying, you'll get completely off track. You will not receive the guidance that is there.
See, this is the thing. Why do we have mostly the dreams that speak to us in parables or allegories? I believe because we would have jumped to conclusions right away, and we would mess up the guidance.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit kind of mysterious, and they are made as a mystery for you to unlock. The meaning is not hidden from you, it's hidden for you. But they're trying to bypass your logical mind, your conscious knowledge, so you don't interpret it with what you already know. Because the information that is coming from the higher realms, right? From God, from the Spirit, is something that you don't know. So you cannot compare it to all the banks of information that you already have stored right here. You cannot ask somebody else. You need to learn how to attune yourself to this channel where information is coming from and start learning to decipher it. That's how you receive something new. That's how you discover things. That's how inventions happen, right? They don't come from here. They come from a different place. And your dreams come from the same place, from the bank of information. And yes, it's kind of mystified for you, but all the mysteries are there for you to decipher, to unlock. See, the dreams speak to you in your language. They're using metaphors that you will understand. Sometimes they're using the people and the friends and the landscapes that are familiar to you. Why? So it wakes up some sort of feeling in you, so you have a memory, so you have a recognition of a character. So the dreams are altered for you, so you're the one who can decipher them. And we will teach you how. That is not hard, and more you do it, better you become. That is the beauty of it.
It's a skill you have to learn.
It's the skill, it's the language you have to learn. But when you do, oh my God, there is no stopping to you ever.
Now, so to answer his question, God has a purpose for your life. Every single person hearing me right now, God has a purpose for your life. I believe there are a lot of people living mediocre lives, but not because that was the plan of God, because you fell into a certain way of living. And that's the whole thing, is God is speaking to you in your dreams, trying to awaken you to the truth, give revelation to you about incredible ideas, inventions, new opportunities, gifts that you don't even know that you've got, trying to open those up for you, trying to awaken you out of the slumber of mediocrity. And he wants everybody to have an amazing life. He wants us all to live an incredible life with our gifts and our abilities at the highest levels. But for us to do that, we've got to go beyond what we know. And for us to do that, the dreams are an incredible tool that God is giving us every night. So as we learn, you learn that skill, you start to receive that. I want to go on to just take a look at another story here that was a very good story. Now this is quite a long time ago. This is in the Bible, and it's in Genesis chapter 41, and it's talking about Pharaoh. The Pharaoh of Egypt, and he had this dream, and I think some of you might have heard about this dream. And in this dream, he sees these 7 fat cows, and then he sees these 7 thin cows come up and eat the 7 fat cows, but the 7 thin cows look just as thin after they've eaten the 7 fat ones. And then he wakes up from this, he's disturbed, he falls back asleep, he has another dream about these heads of grain, fat, great, incredible heads of grain, and again, they're devoured by these very thin heads of grain, 7 heads again. And so he wakes up, and in the morning, he's very disturbed by this dream, and he wants to know he knows it's important, because he's disturbed, and he knows that, these dreams have important messages, but he doesn't know what it means. Now, it says here in verse 8, now when it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all its wise men, and Pharaoh told them his dream. But there was no one who could interpret them for Pharaoh. So he couldn't understand this dream, and all his wise men. Now, wise men are probably using their own intellect or their own knowledge to try to figure something out that's coming from God, that's coming from the spiritual realms, and as a result of that, they could not understand it, right?
Interesting thing, this dream was given to a Pharaoh. The Pharaoh was the head of this country,
Egypt,
right?
yeah.
Egypt. And he was the one who was supposed to take care of this country. That's why I believe that this dream was given to him. He knows the importance of dreams.
Absolutely.
See, Egyptians did believe in dreams wholeheartedly. They knew that through dreams you get access to very important, vital information. So he received the dream, but he doesn't know what it means. And it happens to all of us. See, that's what happened to me, right? Before I started working with my dreams and understanding what they're telling me, I was in the same shoes. I was getting the dreams.
You were in Pharaoh's shoes?
Kinda. I think he had good shoes. I wouldn't mind. I love shoes. So he was getting the dreams, right? But he didn't know what they meant. So he was starting looking for the authority on the subject. Everybody does that, right? But people that he had around him who were kind of authority on the subject were not getting information from the right source, okay?
Yeah. So what did he do?
So what did he do?
He heard about this guy Joseph, the Joseph of coat of many colors Joseph, okay? He calls Joseph to come. And Pharaoh says to Joseph when he arrives, he says, I have had a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it, but I have heard it said that you can understand a dream to interpret it. So he's talking to Joseph. Listen to Joseph's reply. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not me. God will give Pharaoh an answer of peace. So here we see Pharaoh's still under the assumption that Joseph's the guy that's going to give him the understanding, the interpretation of this dream, and Joseph makes it very clear, interpretations come from God. You want to understand your dream, you want to know what it's saying, you got to go back to the same source that's giving it and ask him to give revelation. What does this mean? And this is one of the things, is if we think it's coming from a person or from our own understanding, when we look at the dream, we don't get the revelation about what it means. We miss out on the opportunity to receive the abundance, to receive the idea, to receive the invention, and we walk right past it.
I totally agree with you.
Now, luckily, Pharaoh was good because he knew it was important. He kept looking for it. So he asked Joseph. Now, here's what Joseph says. This is the thing which I have spoken to Pharaoh. This is what God has shown Pharaoh.
That's an interpretation.
This is interpretation
that Joseph is giving, not from himself.
And he's receiving it.
He received it.
Yeah.
He made a point of it.
So God has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. Indeed, 7 years of great plenty will come throughout all the land of Egypt, but after them 7 years of famine will arise, and all the plenty will be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine will deplete the land. Okay, so he receives that. Now, he also receives guidance on what to do, because this is kind of a bad thing to find out. You're going to have 7 years of plenty, that's good, but then 7 years of famine. Well, famine in that time...
And 7 years that will devour the 7 years.
Land.
That's what the dream was saying. Remember the 7 cows? First 7 were very fat and nice, and then there were skinny ones, 7 skinny ones, 7 skinny years, right? But the skinny ones devoured the fat ones and remained skinny. Right? So God was telling in this dream, saying kind of, see what could happen, the possibility of what could happen. And I love this dream because it's a very good example. Instead of getting scared and upset about it, like so many people do when they receive the bad news, I would say, through their dreams. Wouldn't you say it's a bad news? Like,
yeah, but there's more.
After the 7 good dreams, you will have 7 bad dreams, and they will devour.
Years, yeah.
What does he do? He wants to do something about it, and that's what I believe our dreams are. Even the dreams that are coming with the warning are given to us so we can actually act. We can do something.
And they don't only just, as this dream shows, there's a warning here that seven years of famine will arrive, but on top of that, there's more, because there's also the information of what to do. Because here's what else Joseph has. He says, appoint officers over the land to collect 1/5 of the produce of the land of Egypt in the 7 plentiful years, and let them gather all the food of those good years that are coming, and store up the grain under the authority of Pharaoh. So he receives, not only does he know the understanding of what the dream means, he also knows what needs to be done in order to prosper. Now, as they went ahead and followed this, Pharaoh appointed Joseph because he was such a wise man. He understood who else has the ear of God to know what to do. He knows it's this guy Joseph. And so as a result of this, Pharaoh follows this guidance. Egypt does not starve in the 7 years of famine. In fact, it prospers. Remember, this is part 4, and we're talking about finances and prosperity. Egypt prospers in a time of famine. They prosper in a time when you should have been starving and struggling. In fact, they are growing richer by the day. They are increasing by the day because all the lands around are coming to buy the food from them. By the end of it, they have all the herds, they have all the lands, they have all the finances. I mean, God provided, in giving him this dream and having him understand it, it changed everything.
What are we talking about? Doesn't it sound like economy was bad?
Economy was bad.
Doesn't it sound like a recession to you?
Yes.
See, the history repeats itself. But what happened? People who received the message from God, who received the instructions through the dream, knew how to do it. So economy and recession does not apply. What happened to the Egypt during this time?
They increased financially.
They increased financially.
Prosperity came.
Right, prosperity came. So what are we saying? Don't open your ears to the bad news that is in the world. Open your ears to the good news that is coming from the Spirit of God, that is coming through your dreams. You will receive information on what to do and how, right?
And when to
Even
do
when
it.
you will get the bad news with the warning, it will be given to you so you can actually do something about it. That is a very good example.
Now, what's interesting about this, because take a look here. Pharaoh did not know what this dream meant. And if he had just looked at this dream and thought, oh, I had a bad nightmare, which some of you are doing this at home. I had a bad nightmare, okay, whatever. And went on with his daily life, he never would have received this understanding. And if he never understood this dream, he couldn't have prepared for what was coming. And if he didn't prepare, he wouldn't have had prosperity, he would have had struggle. I believe that you, in your life, are having dreams at nighttime that are giving you not only the warnings, but the guidance of what to do so that you can also prosper. God wants you to prosper, and he's giving these dreams. But if Pharaoh had not gone ahead and kept searching for the understanding, if he would have just stopped and said, okay, nobody knows what it means, whatever, they wouldn't have had this success. I believe every night you're receiving those dreams, but you also need to receive the understanding. You need to start to search for, how do I understand these dreams? This is something Liza and I have been doing for decades now. We've been searching to receive the understanding. We've been seeking God and receiving that guidance.
It works every time.
The more you do it, the easier it gets. That's what we like to do. We like to share with other people and show you how to do it too, because we've had great success in doing that. But you can too. You just have to learn the tools and understand it. And when we don't, we get to a place where this young man was asking this question, well, what is wrong? So you got to learn the tools. Joseph knew the tools. He knew where it came from.
He had a gift.
And he knew the importance of asking guidance for God. Now, in addition to that, also notice, Joseph was a guy who the whole journey of Joseph started off with him having a dream. He had a dream of greatness, that he would become a great head, and that his family would bow down to him, and that he'd be a great leader.
You're talking about the dream he had at night.
The dream he had when he was a young man, about 17 years old. Mm-hmm. But he could have given up on that dream that he had at night. He could have just kind of thrown it aside and said, what does it matter? At any point along his way, because he was sold into slavery, he could have said, oh, what's the point of keeping that alive and knowing that I could do that?
Should I get complacent with my situation and stop dreaming?
I'm just a slave.
And not hold this dream in front of me that was given to me at night?
At night, mm-hmm.
He didn't do that.
Why should I work so hard for Potiphar in his house and make it prosper? Forget that. When the baker and the butler came to him with dreams in the prison, he didn't have to help them, but why did he? Because he had a good heart and he was still believing what God had told him in a nighttime dream. And ultimately, because he did the right thing and kept following that guidance, he reached that destiny that God had foretold him in the dream. And he now rules over Egypt, with nobody ahead of him except for Pharaoh. And he's able to make all these great decisions and change the course of this country as a result of it.
Why are we telling you this, guys? You have the same ability as Joseph had. All you have to do is to believe. Every night when you go to sleep, you have access to all the information you will ever need to succeed, to become prosperous, not only for your benefit, but so you can help others. See, our purpose for accumulation is distribution. How can you do good if you have nothing to give? That is the very interesting question you need to ponder upon. So you need to receive all the provision for yourself and more so you can help others. That's why you will be elevated. That's why you will be given more than enough to do awesome things and fulfill your destiny. And that's what we're encouraging you to do today. And by the way, if you want to understand what your dreams are telling you, if you live in Los Angeles, very good opportunity for you in 2 weeks, right?
April 29th.
April 29th. We have a workshop coming up. It's a great opportunity. It's 1-day workshop, 1-day intensive. You will learn exactly how to work with your dreams. You will receive practical applications. We will take you on the journeys. We will explain and we'll do it with you. So
Absolutely.
Then you will be prepared for your life. You will know how to work with your dreams. If you are so urgently inspired and want to fly into LA and be there here with us on that day, do so. We would love to have you. We still have a few spaces available. So please come. We love you guys, and we are doing it for you because we believe that you were born for greatness. We believe you have incredible destiny, and we believe you have amazing gifts that everybody is waiting for you to give. So time is now. Be inspired, be diligent, commit to learning the messages from your dreams.
And it does require taking action.
Absolutely.
You've got
That's
to
why
act.
they're giving to you.
Larry Page received the dream, but if he hadn't worked for the next year following up what the dream said, there would be no Google.
Absolutely.
Pharaoh received the dream, warning of the famine, but if he had not taken action, first to seek out understanding of it, but number 2, also to follow up on the guidance that came, they would not have survived that. They would not have prospered. And that's the thing, is you're receiving the dreams. They have incredible value and guidance. First, you have to receive the understanding, but then you also have to put it into action. Without that action, it doesn't change anything. But that's the ability. It's not
just the movie you're watching at night. It's not just for your entertainment. It's not the horror movie that you paid the ticket to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's for you to change your life.
Absolutely.
And so how do you do it? You start paying attention to your dreams, you start dreaming with intention, you start understanding your dreams and apply it to your life. Action is required. That's why the dreams are given to you.
As I said, God wants you to prosper. This young man asked the question. He has a purpose for you, and he wants you to prosper, and he's pouring out this information at nighttime while you're sleeping because it can get past the conscious mind and get in. And when you start to understand what God is saying in your dreams, you will start to prosper financially. You will see yourself grow and change. You'll have so many ideas, inventions, opportunities coming your way. They are waiting for us at night. God is pouring them out every night, and it's all there for you. And we are so excited about it because we know what a difference it's made for us.
Changed our lives.
Absolutely.
So guys, thank you for being here with us. We love you with all our hearts. Go ahead, have fun today, and don't forget to dream with intention tonight, and you will receive amazing dreams. We love you. God loves you. Be blessed.
Join us again next week on View from Above, and we'll have more important, inspiring messages for you.